They hit us like a train. Any Crokes dressing room I've ever been in, I always felt confident, quietly confident that we could beat any team that was put in front of us. And I still believe that. First game against Eire, yeah, we got to a shite start.
It was early December, so the weather and the conditions were also, very, very poor. Down in the first game was down in Newbridge, I believe. The pitch was very sticky and heavy.
We knew that we were going to be tested, and tested we were, but we found out a lot about ourselves the first day.
Coming into that game, I think we got off to a good start. I think we went in the lead pretty early. We opened them up significantly, and I think probably we had them on the ropes, and I think we got complacent.
They got a free to equalise the game that day. Even though they probably dominated, their forwards didn't really click.
I remember shooting from just underneath the stand in Newbridge at St. Conan's Park, and I firmly believe that it did go over the bar, but unfortunately, it was waved wide. And again, a few people I spoke to afterwards that were, I think, behind where I was shooting, they also thought it was a score. But I'm sure the Eire guys would argue the toss on that.
I can't remember any point being a score that wasn't given on the day. I don't remember any of that at all, no.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, it was definitely overlooked. Ray went straight away to the umpiring referee, and I think it was Brian White was the referee, and just waved it off. But it was definitely over the bar. I suppose up front we were probably a little bit naive in the sense that being a little bit more composed, where Eire had that kind of experience. They accumulated 4 Leinster titles before we met that day. So you could never see the sense of panic when, even though we were in control of the game, I felt.
I slid in on the ball, picked it up on my chest and slid in. I remember, I think it was Johnny McGee, but somebody saying it's Con Redmond actually. You still say it was Johnny McGee slid in with the 2 knees, and he actually broke 2 ribs. I knew exactly that they were broken because I'd broken quite a few before that. Just as that, I kind of got the air back into my lungs, got up off the ground, played the game on, but afterwards brought into the doctor and was diagnosed that I had 2 broken ribs, and eventually I missed the second game. So
Eire, huge credit, they stuck at it. Looking back in hindsight, we probably had enough chances to win the game, but we just couldn't kill the lads off. And they showed massive character to equalise. I think it was Anthony Keating that kicked an equalising score, that brought it onto the replay.
So going back training the Tuesday, Thursday, I was ready for Christmas, and I didn't fancy a game 2 weeks later.
The game itself was very physical. It was a proper championship match, and I think it was real honest club football, where there's a lot on the line, where it means a terrible lot to both players on the field and supporters in the grounds. It's the real traditions of the GAA, but I honestly don't remember playing a match of such substance on a day like it before. It was brutal.
I think the game was in the 2nd or 3rd week in December, and the pitch was like a bog.
We'd been sleet falling that day. It was bitterly cold. It was probably the worst day I ever played a game of football in. It was that bad.
Tullamore that day was like the trenches in the Battle of the Somme. It was horrendous, and you wouldn't put a dog out in it. It was horrendous. The weather was awful. I'd say if it wasn't a Leinster final, I'd say it would have pulled the game.
And in the terrible conditions, you've got to credit Nick O'Keefe with a lovely drive.
I reckon I was probably the first man to take showers, I say that day, because it was just so cold out,
We still went out trying to play the game the Kilmacud way, and the way we'd played the game all year that second day. And really we didn't adapt to the conditions, and I think the second day they adapted much better than we did.
It was horrendous, You couldn't see some of the numbers on the backs. I remember I went down in the second half. I did my ligaments, my ankle pretty badly, and I remember being on the ground even though I was in so much pain with my ankle, I was trying to get up off the ground because I was freezing as well, but I couldn't get up off the ground because the pain in my ankle was killing me.
Getting the ball into my hands and shifting it off as quick as I possibly could before either getting hammered in a tackle or you know, losing the ball given the conditions. I remember the ball going into Muckle. I remember the pint going over the bar.
Muckle again, yeah. Sorry.
Whistle went, and it was more of a relief. Even though we didn't win, I was so relieved because I was thinking, this is brilliant because I'm coming back now to play in the third match.
I think from recollection we wanted extra time, we wanted to play on. It suited us to get the game done and dusted that day. And I don't know why. I don't know what their view on that was, whether they wanted to go again another day. It would have been an awful way if you had lost the game to lose the game in those conditions, and maybe the referee rightfully said, you know what, this is a lottery here today, you know, this is a mess, let's get out of here and play it another time where people can actually play football.
I knew we were spent at that stage, that extra time wasn't going to suit us. So I went over to Brian and I said, look Brian, I said, my eyesight is very, very bad, and it's going to become a health and safety issue if we go and play extra time. I said, I can barely see now, and if something happens, I said, someone's going to have to be held responsible. It was sort of a bluff just to see if we could do anything, and I was, you know, I think Brian had enough of the day as well. I think he was freezing as well, and he just says, okay, we'll go to a third game.
Like at this stage too, you know, we were kind of pretty much, as I say, kind of like seasoned campaigners, you know, so we had a kind of fair idea that it wasn't going to be easy.
When we'd said third game was to go and finish the job. We trained on the paddock, which is the pitch behind us there, was an all-weather field.
They were probably in better shape, I think, coming into that game mentally than we were, and it showed. We started badly, it didn't get much better.
We decided beforehand that we were going to win it in the first 15 minutes, that we were going to, you know, keep pressing high and, you know, review it after 15 minutes and see where we were. And I think after that 10 or 12 minutes, I think we were 1-5 to a point up. Now we knew we had it.
The goal that we got was a long ball in over the top.
3 players went up for it.
I find myself in a huge amount of space in front of the goal, and it was actually Jody Morrissey that got the flick on, and when I turned I just had one-on-one with the keeper, and hopefully, well, you could see there was only going to be one result, but it ended up in the back of the net.
It set the ball rolling for them and they came at us. They hit us like a train.
I remember turning around and looking at the stand in Newbridge and looking at the joy and the celebrations that were already going on, and it was such a surreal moment.
Yeah, that's what feeling at the end of the game was heartbreaking. Put your life on hold. I suppose at a time when my grandfather passed away as well, so it was, you know, he passed away in December. I'm not sure it was which, I think it was, not sure which match it was, the second match or the first match. So it was like trying to do it for my father and my family. So it hurts, and I suppose it hurts, but it also was a driving factor for me, pushing me on to be successful for the club going forward. So maybe I should thank Eire for beating us that day.
This club is always chasing, and that chase will always remain.